an example on the screen. Now, like I just told you, if you put a particular plant in a dark cupboard, you can see the cupboard all around, the black shade around it, and then a light source is there. You will see that the plant will be moving towards the light source. But if it is, the light source is probably on the corner, on the side, and there's a hole opening, and the light penetrates, you will find out that the plant will begin to bend towards that light. So the part of the plant that is bending towards that light is an example of phototropism. An example of phototropism. Now, let's compare what we have discussed among the three types of responses. We said taxism, we talked about taxism, we talked about nastism, and then we discussed tropism. Now, in terms of nastism, if we're looking at found in, where do we see, or where does taxism, or these three types of responses, where can it be found? Where does it occur or take place? In taxism occurs both in plants and animals. It occurs in animals and some plants. Nastism occurs in plants. Tropism actually occurs in plants and also animals. Then response, please take note in terms of response. In taxism, it is directional. The response is directional. In nastism, the response is non-directional. And then in tropism, the response is directional. Nature of movement. In taxism, it is the whole organism that moves. In nastism, it is part of the organism that moves. And then in tropism, it is also part of the organism that moves. Now, there are several responses that can be termed growth movement. Growth movement. In terms of taxism is never a growth movement because it has to do with the whole of the organism moving from one place to another. But in terms of nastism and tropism, yes, these are also ways plants grow. So it is a growth movement, okay? Now let's take a look at roles of auxins in growth movement. Now what are auxins? Auxins are actually hormones. They are called growth stimulating hormones. They are growth hormones that are responsible for growth in plants. Now auxins are the best known plant hormones, and they control tropism in plants, okay? Now, auxins can be cells that are found at the shoot tip